Hola amigos, bien o no, y saludos desde Medellín. Hoy el tema continúa un poco de ayer. En inglés va a decir que es how to complain without starting an argument. Porque en verdad nosotros no quiere entrar en un pelear, solo para expresar que esta situación no es ideal para nosotros y nosotros quiere otra resolución. So ese es el tema de hoy. So, how to complain without starting an argument. Now, the reason we're trying to avoid having the argument is because since we're using this as our second language, if we're not very careful with how we use our tone of voice and we're not very sensitive to how the other person is expressing their emotions through their tone of voice, we can very quickly lose control of the conversation and effectively start an argument which we're going to find it very difficult to get out of. So rather than let that happen, we still have to acknowledge that sometimes things happen that really we feel are wrong, shouldn't have happened, and really the other person should be doing more to fix it. Now I'm thinking here particularly in those kind of customer service situations where perhaps you're going on holiday, you're traveling, at a restaurant, something where the other person's job really is to try and make whatever that process is smooth for you, and maybe they're not quite doing that in the way that you would reasonably expect. So that's the kind of thing we're looking to challenge. So I'm going to try and show you can do this with very minimal phrases, but phrases that are polite but direct. And with only memorizing a few of these phrases and repeating them through these type of conversations, you can challenge the other person, effectively request that they re-offer what they're going to do to fix the situation, hopefully get them to fix it in a way that's acceptable to you. But if you get trapped at that's the limit of what they're able to do at that time, you can still make it clear that you're still disappointed, but in this case you'll accept their offer because it's obvious that there's nothing else that's going to happen on that day. So let's show you how that works together. So I'm going to pretend that I've gone to the airport, I'm expecting to get on my flight, and when I've got to the desk, Bob at the desk tells me that the flight has been cancelled and I have to come back tomorrow. So first thing I'm going to do is just repeat that back to make sure I've heard him correctly. So, sorry Bob, you're saying it's been cancelled and I need to come back tomorrow? He's going to tell me, yeah, it's been cancelled, you have to come back tomorrow. Now, I'm not happy about that, so now I'm going to let him know. I'm sorry, Bob. I really appreciate your help, but that's not acceptable. She's like, but you have to come back tomorrow. Bob, I understand. I'm sorry, but tomorrow is just not acceptable. Who else can we speak to about that? Who else can we speak to about that? Now notice I'm using we. What I'm doing there is I'm taking Bob out of the problem. I'm not making him part of the problem. I'm acknowledging that the process is the problem, and I'm asking that he and I together speak to someone else. So it's not like, who do I speak to about it? No, I'm not going above Bob or behind him or like around him. I'm asking him to help me find someone else we can talk to about it. So who do we speak to about that, Bob? Okay, let's say we have to speak to his supervisor, John. All right, so he brings over John and tells me the same thing. Sorry, sir, all the flights are cancelled. You have to come back tomorrow. All right, John, well, I understand, but really tomorrow, that's just not acceptable for me. What do we do now? What do we do now? Again, it's what do we do now? What do we do now? Now at this point we can pretend either way that could go. He might be lucky, I might be lucky, he might offer me a different type of flight, like, okay, look, I can get you on 1 o'clock in the morning, will you accept that? Yes, that would be great. Thanks so much for your help, John. I'm really very grateful. I appreciate it's difficult, but thank you very much. Or again, he might just reiterate, no sir, there really are no more flights today, you'll have to go to the hotel, but we will cover the cost and we're going to take you there, you know, by taxi. We'll bring you back in the morning again at our cost, and we will make sure you're on the first flight out tomorrow. Okay, so at that point it's clear there's nothing else that anyone is going to do, so I'm not going to argue about it. I'm now going to accept their offer, but I'm going to use pretty well the same phrases. So, okay John, I appreciate your help. I'm sorry it's not what I'd hoped for. It's not what I hoped for. It's disappointing, but I appreciate your help. What do we do now? This is just for me to confirm what the process is. What do we do now? Let him tell me, okay, this is how it works. You know, here's the ticket, go back to the hotel, blah, blah, blah. And then we can thank him and we can leave. So notice, I don't shout. All the time, my tone of voice is nice and calm. I'm not blaming either Bob or John for the problem. Always I'm looking at what we can do to resolve this. What can we do to improve this? Who can we speak to? But I'm making it clear that I'm disappointed. It's not what I'd hoped for. And really at some level, this is not acceptable. So I hope you can see in that one, it's a way of registering the fact that you're not happy with what's gone on, but it's not about poking the person and blaming them directly, because that could easily escalate into an argument that you might find it difficult to get out of. But you're still registering the fact that this situation is not what it should be, and we both know that, and we should really try and do better. So have a think about that. Hopefully in there's some useful phrases you might find will get you better leverage next time you're in one of those situations. Déjame saber, como siempre, en los comentarios. But for now, from Medellin, where it's actually not raining, for once, we'll say cheerio.